Welcome back.
What's up, everyone? Garage Sale Brothers. Or Video Game Brothers.
I don't know.
What are we? I'm Brother Andy.
I'm Brother Phil.
That's Brother Phil. I started talking to the guy, and he made it sound like I wasn't going to see any video games, and so I turned my camera off. But it turned out it was a pretty good score. So,
what are you really looking for? Anything?
You wouldn't have any like video game stuff, anything like that?
Oh yeah.
Old Nintendo games.
Yeah, I got all that for it's all for our kids. So.
Oh, they still play it?
Well, they're 32 and 43, but they're all the games that they grew up with. We have all of them. The NES.
They're not selling any of them? Like, wow.
I know. They want to keep it all.
Alright.
So
I respect that.
The old Nintendo?
Yeah.
Like the old
NES, Super NES, 64, all that stuff.
All that.
Yeah.
They don't want to get away with it yet.
Bummer.
Sorry.
Alright.
Yeah.
I can understand that though.
Well, they're just not ready to part with it yet.
Yeah.
You know, and they grew up with it, and
so I start talking to this guy, and I start asking about video games. And so you're talking about like NES and Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And he goes, yeah, we have all of that.
Aww.
And I'm thinking, great, bring it on out. And he was like, yeah, but my kids are just really attached to it, they're just attached to it. Okay, he doesn't want to sell them. They belong to his kids. Do the kids play anymore? So I said, oh, they still play them? And he's like, no, they don't play them. They're just attached to them. You know what I mean? And I'm like, give me a break. These things have been sitting in the attic underneath the box of Christmas decorations for the last 25 years. Don't give me this we're still attached to them crap. It's hard to get someone to sell something that doesn't belong to them. And I've had this problem before.
I've encountered that many times.
If I could see the kids or talk to the people that own it, I have a much better chance. But talking to their dad, who knows where the kids are, I'm thinking maybe I could get him. And he even mentioned his kids were like in their 30s at one point. And then somehow it came out that his kids still live at home. And in fact, they're inside the house right now as we speak.
Welcome to 2018, when every 34-year-old lives at home with his parents.
So I was like, okay, can you just go ask him? And he was like, sure. And I'm like, sweet. Came back out pretty quickly. He brings out 3 boxes of stuff. One of the boxes was a Sega Genesis and a buttload of Genesis games, and they were all shovelware. Like, literally 100%. A bunch of World Series baseball and Madden everything else. And I was like, I'm going to pass on Sega stuff. He did have NES, he did have Super NES, and he had 64, and I got all of it. So let's start with, should we start with the NES?
Yeah,
let's start with the NES. The NES games were the first thing I saw, and there are more NES than anything. So these were all the NES games. Half of them are kind of lousy, but there were some real nice ones in here. We got
Mario 3.
We got the Mario trilogy.
Mario 2.
It wouldn't be an NES pickup
Mario 1.
without the Mario trilogy. But what I was really excited about was when I saw Mega Man.
I see Mega Man.
I got a Mega Man 3. You don't find that very often. And then really the cream of the crop was original NES.
That's so choice. That game has increased in value so much just in the last year or two.
The sticker on the back of it.
That should come off.
It's kind of cool. I don't know.
That is kind of a cool sticker. At least it doesn't say Blockbuster on it.
It's appropriate. It's not on the wrong game or anything. Really thrilled to find that. That was awesome. We got both Turtles.
Excellent.
Love the Turtles games. Huge Ninja Turtles fans growing up. Ninja Turtles came into popularity really right alongside Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
back in the day, and it was just it was a match made in heaven. Mm-hmm. It was like everyone had a favorite turtle. They all had weapons.
Leonardo.
There was bad guys, Michelangelo, and now it's time to play it in a video game, and it was so perfect. Mm-hmm. I know the first one gets a lot of crap. I know James, the Nintendo nerd, gave it a lot of crap for one of his first videos, but back in the day, nobody hated this game. I mean, yes, it was frustrating, but dude, this was a very significant
between
game.
You and me, and I think you did most of this, but you made it to the very end of the game at one point.
I made it to the Technodrome one time, and I got killed. So I never beat it. I beat this 1,000 times.
Thousands of times.
This is a better game. 2-player co-op, love it. Rad Racer, I don't know. We had that back in the day. It was hard. What are you going to do? Some junk. some black box games. Adventure Island, really liked this game a lot too. This is always one of my favorite games growing up.
We beat that game, actually.
We did, yeah.
One time that I remember.
Yeah. Some Sesame Street game. What do we do with this?
Yep.
The junk pile.
Junk pile.
So, those are NES games. Really excited about Mega Man 1 and 3. The Super Nintendo games, I feel like they had lost some over the years. Because there's no way this was their entire Super Nintendo collection. Like, this is the Super Nintendo games that I got. And 4 out of 5 are pretty much absolute garbage. So, like, they had to have had more at one point. I asked the guy, what else you got? This is everything they had.
That's too bad.
The only game in here worth really mentioning is Zelda, which is fantastic. It's one of the greatest games of all time. If you disagree with me, you're wrong. Other than that,
First Ladle Zelda, yeah.
we got a Griffey baseball, and Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego, and a Caesar's Palace. This game, oh my!
I find it
That
everywhere.
game is so common. I hate that game. I've never even played it, and I hate it. Don't tell me they never had Mario World.
Mario Kart,
And Mario
World,
like,
Donkey
where are your
Country,
Mario games?
Pilot
So-
Wings, F-Zero, come on, man.
I was a little disappointed, and I also did not get the Super Nintendo system, so that disappeared at one point. 64 games also may have been picked over. I mean, there's only, 7 games here, so they may have been picked over.
But, the 64 library is one of those libraries that was so small, and so many people were frustrated with the lack of games coming out, and they moved on to PlayStation, because we're all getting older as gamers. We're all in our late teens at that point who grew up on the NES. So,
That's
I don't know.
true.
There's a lot of N64 collections that the entire collection is 7 or 8 games, so that could be it.
There are a few really good games in here I was happy to find. Mario Party 3. We've been finding 2 a lot this year for some reason. Finally got 3. Some crappy baseball game. Junk. And Majora's Mask. Zelda. Really good condition. I would say this is the gold cart version, but with Majora's Mask, they're all the gold cart version.
Yeah.
They didn't make 2 different versions like they did all.
This is really good. I'd be willing to bet that if you put this in and turned it on, you'd find a save file that had like 4 heart containers, and that would be it. You can tell when they're not played this much. Usually, it's because someone put it in. They thought, "Oh, I'm going to like this game." Then they played it for 40 minutes, and they're like, I can't figure it out, and then they don't play it anymore.
We'll find out. Mario Kart 64, that's a winner for sure.
Yeah.
This is either Tony Hawk or Donkey Kong Country. Actually, I can tell you which one it is because they wrote it. It's missing the label, but there's a Tony Hawk game for 64 with a yellow cart.
Yeah.
And I've been fooled before, seeing it on the side, thinking, it's a Donkey Kong 64, and then you pick it up and Tony Hawk. Anyway, someone tore the label off, whatever. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer and some Tarzan crap game, so
Whatever.
we also got an NES. There's a third controller down there. NES with 3 controllers, and these are actually all really good.
Wow.
I've been getting lucky lately with NES
you found some nice
controllers.
controllers last week, I think.
Yeah, these are super nice. Really good condition, great buttons, cords are great.
I'll be honest, this controller looks brand new.
It really does, yeah.
It looks brand new.
I haven't tested the NES yet, but it's in really good condition, really good spring in here. You can kind of feel it. All the cords are there and everything. So, and 64 came with it as well. Pretty good, and it had all the cords and everything. It's got the jumper pack, not the expansion. I threw this on. They had the strategy guide for Majora's Mask.
And they still
Whatever.
They still didn't play the game. I guarantee you they never played it. This isn't even really looked through. I can tell. Pages are all shiny.
Pages are stiff.
The corners are all good.
Yeah.
They didn't play this game, which is a shame because it's a great game.
It is.
Yeah.
I said, all right, I'll give you $100 for this stuff. And then another box sitting on the side, we noticed, had 4 N64 controllers, 2 of which are these Pokemon branded controllers, which are really hard to find and pretty collectible for a lot of people. And I said, I was hoping he would just kind of throw these in, there's the controllers, but not this guy. He wanted $5 each for all these controllers.
Come on.
And I said, all right, fine. So I gave the guy another $20 bill. So altogether, I was out $120 for all this stuff. why have one zapper when you can have two?
You can Laura Croft your way through Duck Hunt.
There you go.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments if anyone knows when they switched from the Great Gun.
Someone's got to know. So I don't know. $120 for all this stuff. I mean, Mega Man 1 by itself is what, a $50?
It's a $50 game right now. That game is just shot up in value like crazy.
Yeah.
And WrestleMania.
And this was like the third sale of the day, and it was all I got the entire day. So
that's pretty awesome. You got some more stuff to show. I don't have anything because I didn't go garage selling this weekend. If you can't tell by my sunburn and my mosquito bites, I was on vacation in the middle of nowhere. I did not go garage selling at all. But you've got some other stuff to show, right?
I got a Craigslist find.
Find.
Not garage sale.
Right.
A Craigslist find.
Holy crap.
Okay, so I actually scored on Craigslist. This was in the free section of Craigslist. No cost at all. I saw it about 20 minutes after it was posted. And I thought, they're probably gone. But I emailed the guy right away, and I said,
lucky.
if these are still available, I'll take them. And he wrote back right away, and he says, they're available, go, they're yours. And I was just like, yes. There must be 60, 70 of them. I don't know, I haven't counted. We ordered it back in the day like everybody else.
I think we stopped our subscription around the early PS1 era, right?
Yeah. Because I love old video game magazines.
Oh, man.
I always have. When I was a teenager, I think at one time I was subscribing to like literally 4 different magazines. Game Pro, Game Players, EGM, Next Generation. Everything I could get my hands on. I mean, before the internet was what it is now.
This was the internet.
This was your source for video game news. And so I gobbled up everything. At one point, I had just piles and piles of video game magazines in my room. I didn't even know what to do with them all. I had so many of them. I love video game magazines. They're such a great snapshot of history. And when you can get them for free like this, I love it. This was the only one that's not Wii GameCube. This is from like 1994.
And there's also something really interesting in that we were just looking at.
There's something really, really interesting.
Really crazy. Like historical significance here that I don't even know
I've never heard anybody else talk about this. I've been meaning to like take a picture of it and tweet, I don't know, the gaming historian or somebody that maybe they know something about this. I've never heard anybody talk about this. So in 1990, 93, there's a little article here on a Nintendo Gateway system, which was basically a Super Nintendo that was jerry-rigged to put on commercial airlines so that, people flying could play Super Nintendo while they're flying. Normally, that's not terribly interesting. It's a little interesting. I'm intrigued. What did this look like?
Right.
There's a tiny, tiny black and white picture of it here.
Crazy.
And what caught my eye was the controller that was being used in this picture. What does that look like to you?
Oh my God.
What's the first thing you think of when you see that controller?
This is a Wii remote in 1994.
It's so crazy how Nintendo, they never throw away a good idea. If they have a good idea for something, and they decide to put it on the shelf because they don't want to use it right now, or maybe they did use it right now, they never forget about ideas. They always come back to them, and this is a perfect example of that. I don't know anything about this gateway system other than what's in here, but dude, that controller, that is insane.
That is wild.
This was like 12 years before the Wii came out. I don't know, does anybody know anything about this gateway system?
I think it's super interesting.
Other than this little tiny black and white picture, I don't know. I'm really curious about this. I'd like to know more about it. Anyway.
I don't know, we should probably not show this person's address. These all were delivered to somebody who lives in Bend, Oregon, which coincidentally, that's where I was just on vacation for a week. No, I didn't bring these home with me, but that's where they came from. Golden Sun, RPG perfection. You know what? I never played Golden Sun. I owned it on the GBA at one point, and I put about an hour into it, and then the game just stopped working. It was a yard sale find, and I've been meaning to pick it up and play it. I never have.
I do own it. It was a yard sale find, and I have yet to play it. So, this was in the lot, too.
That's not an antenna power issue.
That's weird. This is the only EGM in the lot. It's probably 2006, I don't know, it must be. Web Revolution, Zelda.
This is pretty awesome. I mean, the price was right.
I couldn't really negotiate. I mean, where can you go from zero?
So you paid $120 for the other fine. You paid $0 for this.
At zero.
That's pretty awesome. Like I said, I didn't go out on Saturday. I don't have anything to show you. Oh, but guess what? The video game sister.
There is a sister.
There is a sister. Let's show a photo. So our sister went out on Saturday, and then she sent us a photo. She found this. We'll overlay it here. She found this lot for $20.
She's not into gaming, but she does go to garage sales a lot, and
Yeah.
she knows what we do. So shout out to Beth, the video game sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, great lot,
Man.
great find. I mean, for
Garage
20
sailing
bucks.
is strong in our family.
Yeah,
I have it. My brother has it.
my sister.
My sister has it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Great find there.
Well done. $20. Well
Yeah.
spent. Mario Kart alone was worth more than $20.
Yeah. So let us know what you guys found this weekend. What'd you get? Anything cool? I feel like we're about halfway through the season right now.
It feels that way.
I hate saying that because I don't even want to
Oh,
admit to
I know,
myself
I know.
that this has an end to it, but it happens every year.
We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Full weekend of garage
We're
sales
hitting
next
it
week.
next week. So good luck out there.